Hello ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. Hi, my name is Mia and this is my virtual vanity, a place where we both love makeup and we're quite critical of it. This time we're not gonna be quite so critical. We are going to do a full face of reviews featuring Italian brands. Now, some of you may not know that I am a mutt. I am half Romanian, half Italian, and the Italian genes in me always ask for the following: more pizza than my body can take, lots of pasta, which of course is not good for my weight, so I gotta watch it, always being ready to fight, and Italian makeup. Like, I don't know what attracts me so much, but I'm always willing to buy stuff from Italian brands that I probably wouldn't be willing to buy from any other regular brand, like a Romanian brand or Anglophone brand. Like, I don't know what it is. I always assume that, sorry for the swatches, I always assume that they're gonna be much nicer. I don't know what it is. It's just a bias of mine, but so far I have not been proven wrong. Every Italian brand that I've tried has not failed me, including the ones that I'm going to put on my face for this look, specifically parts of the Nabla Denude collection, the powder from the Nabla Closeup collection, and some miscellaneous Kiko Milano stuff. If you're interested in that and to see how I achieved this look over here, let me show you the eye look for a sec. Then, keep on watching. To start first by priming my face and priming my lids. However, before priming, don't forget to moisturize. What I suggest is that if you do moisturize before applying your makeup, do it like 20 minutes before so the product has time to sink in into the skin. Or if you don't have time, apply a very, very light layer so the moisturizer doesn't make your makeup and your primer slip around or bunch up or, have an adverse reaction to it. I'm going to start priming with the Catrice Cosmetics Light Correcting Serum Primer. I've been really enjoying this. This is by far the newest product in my collection from this bunch. It has a, like a dropper tool that you use. I've been really enjoying this. It really does make my face look a lot more luminous and hydrated. I've been using it for a couple of times this week, so my opinion of this might still change. However, what I like is that it has a very nice sort of florally scent. Reminds me of some sort of shower gel, It's also quite hydrating. It doesn't tug at my skin, doesn't make it feel dry, and mama needs some hydration. As you can see, I don't know if you can tell on camera, I'm looking much more dewy. I like to use this on its own as well. I just need to make sure to powder my nose because else I'm just planes use me as a way to figure out where to land. It's that bright of a light. I'm Rudolph the beige-nosed reindeer. It's truly something else. We're gonna prime the lids with the Milani Eyeshadow Primer. Now, this seems to be a drugstore holy grail for most people, and I can sort of see why, because it does make your eyeshadow last longer. However, I don't find that it helps with pigmentation or blending. I always need to set it, and to be quite honest, I've mentioned this in previous videos, but the moussey, almost greasy texture of it really bothers me. Okay, we are gonna set my eyes. I'm going to use the Too Faced White Peach palette, which is, it's okay, but it's not worth the money, and this video is not about this palette. Let me know if you'd like to see a 3 looks 1 palette with this thing, because I'd be curious to see what I can come up with. I'm going to use the shadow Peach Cream, which I'm trying to pan. Grabbing a fluffy blending brush, and I'm gonna use Peach Cream, man, the fallout, to set all over my lid. Now, what is setting good for? Well, if you have a more liquidy primer or oilier lids that might act satanically with the primer, then a layer of your skin tone eyeshadow will help the shadows blend better. It's like priming a canvas before doing a painting, because instead of them sticking to the sticky base of the primer, they blend over this powdery base, and you know, powder with powder mixes much better than powder with cream. Okay, for foundation, I'm going to use the Bourjois City Radiance foundation with a damp beauty blender. The sponge that I will be using is this one from Real Techniques. Excuse it, it's dirty. I don't find this to be an amazing sponge. I've seen a lot of people talk about it and praise it to hell and back, but to me, it's just okay. I'm gonna put this a bit on my forehead. I missed the opportunity to make a joke about, you know, Lion King, Simba, all of that good stuff. This is a nice foundation. It's hydrating, it's glowy. My issue with this is that I don't seem to get along very well with it. It seems to kind of disintegrate on my skin as time goes by. Like at the 6-hour mark, she's like, see you, bitch, bye-bye. She doesn't want to hang out with me more than 6 hours, which I completely understand because I'm an annoying bitch, but that's kind of your job to do, to hang out on my face for at least 8 hours so I can look presentable at work. So unfortunately, I'm trying to pan this and then move it away from my collection. Also, yes, I do my base before my eyes. I'm hardcore like that. Just don't judge me. Next up, I'm gonna powder. This is the Nabla Baking and Setting Powder from their Closeup collection. I've been really enjoying this. Now, the only downside with this, also, this packaging is absolutely gorgeous. This is filled to the brim, literally to the brim, and I couldn't get the product out at first, so I kind of have to do this to make the product get out of it. See? It should be down there. Now, another thing that bothers me a bit is that it is not very finely milled. I can see like the granules of powder. They, of course, don't show up on the face, but it's not very aesthetically pleasing. Now, what I do with this is put my damp beauty blender in the sifter and just pat it over the problems. Yeah, I wish I could put powder of my problems, but now over my problem areas, where I know I will get maybe oily or sweaty. Now, I don't get very oily during the day, so I don't know how good it is for oil, but this thing is absolutely amazing to keep sweat at bay. Like, my makeup stays put, and believe me, we've had just some awful weather, like Satan sitting on his throne in the middle of Bucharest kind of weather, and we're all in hell. Because we voted one sort of party that fucked us all over. I'm not gonna get into politics, but I really want to get into politics, but I'm not gonna because nobody will get it, because I don't have many Romanian viewers. But yeah, we are all in hell, and it's punishment for voting dumb people or not voting at all. Okay, we've got my base ready. Let's proceed with the eyeshadow. Let's conceal, don't feel, whatever the fuck the song went like. I've seen Frozen a while ago. Now, this is the Bourjois Radiance Reveal Concealer. Now, you need a very tiny amount of this thing because it's a very liquidy and it tends to get all over the place. Like, it spreads like peanut butter on bread. You think you've got just the right amount so you don't get fat, but you end up adding more and more and just having 500 calories of peanut butter and half a jar of it on a piece of bread. That's how this concealer is. Now, as you can see, I don't do the triangle thing because I find it to be a bit too heavy for me. However, if you do enjoy that and do that, go right ahead. However, for every day, I feel that just dotting a bit of the concealer under your eyes and then spreading it sort of in that triangle motion, but not drawing the triangles in with the actual concealer, Looks much more discreet, much more natural looking. It doesn't actually show that you have a lot of product on your face. Now, as you can see, I finally look like I have a few hours of sleep under my belt. So since my eyes are looking good, let's do my eyebrows. I'm going to use the Brow Gal by Tonya Crooks. I got this in a BoxyCharm and I've been using this non-stop. The retail price for this apparently is $20, but to be fair with you, I wouldn't pay $20 for this. Because I feel that the Essence Make Me Brow in Brownie Brows does the exact same thing. Maybe this one is a bit more drier feeling. That's the Essence one. And I was a bit bothered by the applicator because it's very frail and bendy, and I managed to crook it up like at the second application of it on my brows. So we've got brows done. If you're looking for Instagram brows on this channel, you're not gonna find them most of the time because I like my brows how they are, per se. Next, we are going to use the Nabla liquid eyeshadow. This is from their most recent collection, the Denude collection. And this one is in Lost in Paradise. This works very well, both as an eyeshadow just on its own, just spread out and blended, but also as like a metallic top over anything else that you want to put in your look. I'm also going to use the Kiko Milano by Issa Arfan Asian Touch holographic eyeshadow palette in 01 Signature Brown. This duo looks like this. You have quite a very plain brown, a colder shade of brown, and then you've got this holographic topper that resembles the things in the KVD Alchemist palette. Let me just do a quick swatch. I don't know if you can see on camera. Can you see it? Yeah, it has this reflective opalescent pink sheen. Then you've got the brown that on its own looks like this. So you know, your regular neutral. But what I liked the most about this is that this is specifically made, like any topper eyeshadow, to go over this brown. So now you get this sort of brown mauve-y tone with a pinkish reflect, which I really like. And I bought this duo specifically because I wanted to use it on lazy makeup days or when I'm traveling, which is not very often. But you know, whenever I just need something small and practical that will give me a full, shiny, amazing look in one little palette. Okay, let's get going then. I'm going to grab a regular just blending brush and I'm gonna start with that brown in the outer V. These are not very powdery. These almost feel creamy to the touch, like a sort of a powder, cream to powder thing, but they are definitely just powder. Okay, let's start applying this in the outer V. It's better to start easy at first and then add more as you go, because then it's easier if you fuck it up to correct it. And what I like to do is extend the eyeshadow just a little bit at the corner in a sort of feline flick sort of moment, because then it makes my eyes look not only a bit bigger but also sort of almond shaped. God, this light is way too bright. Just way too damn bright. Okay, don't worry, it's looking quite rough right now, but I will blend it out. But first, let's do the other eye.
5 minutes later.
What I want to do is just take a finger or a flat packing brush, which would look something like this, but I prefer my finger, and I'm gonna pack this in the outer third of my eye. Oopsies. I'm gonna want to blend that out. Take the same small packing brush I was talking about and put the same brown that I've kept using from the Kiko palette under my lower lash line, so on my lower lid. Trust the process, we are gonna get there. What I want to do is take the same brush that I used to set my eyes, don't add any extra product on it, and just try to blend out these edges over here, these harsh edges of the eyeshadow. Soft motions. Now, what I want to do is, remember when we added to this third, just the very last third, the brown, I want to go in with the holographic topper. So I'm gonna grab some on my finger because I'm a heathen, you can do this with a packing brush, and I'm gonna put this right smack on top. It more rosy toned. I don't know if the camera picks it up because I am filming with my front potato cam. You will have to excuse me. I'm planning on buying a camera very soon, so we're gonna get HD up in this bee. I'm going now to add Lost in Paradise by Nabla on the first corner. As you can see, this is a very pretty rosy toned metallic eyeshadow, and like I don't even need to cut my crease if I want to do a cut crease look with this, because the applicator is very flat, as you can see, and it's very easy to use. So I'm just gonna put this here, put some in the inner corner of my eye, and extend it below, just so we look a bit more awake. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the Kiko holographic topper again and put it smack in the middle. There we go. This has such a pretty rose and gold sheen to it. It's such a pity I'm not going out of the house like this, but I'm going to redo this look very soon. And I am going to take photos of it and reap the karma of my good work on Instagram. So just wait for that, lads. It's gonna happen. Okay, now that we have everything on the eye ready, I just want to mention a couple of things. You do not need these exact products to achieve a similar look. What you need is the following: a rosy toned metallic eyeshadow. Liquid is best, but it can also work with powder. You also need whichever shade of brown that you have in your collection. A cold brown maybe a warm brown would look just as well, and it would look more mauve-y toned. You also need a sort of pinkish holographic topper. You can find these almost everywhere. Just search for pink transformer shadow or opal transformer shadows. There are quite a few brands that have such shadows, and you can find them in a variety of colors. Let's add mascara. Actually, no, I forgot something. Okay, I'm going to line up my eyes and like right here with this Kiko Khol pencil in 114. It doesn't have a name, but it's a brownish burgundy shade. Now, this is the best Khol pencil I have ever found, and I plan to purchase more and more colors. I usually have issues with Khol pencils because they kind of irritate my eyes and I can feel them in the waterline. But with this one, it's light as air. It doesn't feel like anything. Had a decent wear time on me. It stayed in my waterline for a good 4 hours before starting to fade away, and this was during a work day where I was out and about and not just sitting around in my house just looking pretty, although I wish I could do that more often. We're gonna add mascara. This is the Essence Lash Princess. I don't need to talk about this. The whole of YouTube has talked about this. Super cheap drugstore mascara, great for lengthening, not so much for volume. To mention that this mascara gets better the drier it gets, at least for me. At first it was just a bit too liquidy. There wasn't any transfer on my lower waterline or on my upper lid. But the drier it gets, the more it gives me those long feathery lashes that I yearn for from this mascara. It's now time to glow to the gods and add blush and contour. Contouring, I'm going to use the NYX's Taupe Cult Classic. And I forgot my contouring brush, so I will have to go with this brush. I usually prefer a flatter brush for contouring, but I'll make do. Now, what I like about this this contour product is that it's quite cool toned, so it fits my skin type. Quite nice for us pale girls, like cool toned pale girls, because what I found about most contour products is that the like the tonality of it is right. It's not too dark, not too light, but it looks way too orange on me. So instead of mimicking a natural shadow, it just looks like I'm trying to become an Oompa Loompa. For blush, I am going to take the Kiko Golden Waves blush in 02 Coral Sunset. This is just, I love the packaging, very shiny, very reflective. Look at me trying to blind you. What I also like is the scent. It smells flowery, but also very sweet, like biscuits with a floral overlay on top. Like it's like having tea with biscuits in a garden. It smells really nice, and it's just it's really pretty. It's this corally pink shade with gold inlays. I find it to be quite pigmented, but also quite powdery. I'm gonna grab my powder blush. Why is there a hair on my powder brush? Jesus Christ, I sometimes I feel like I'm shedding, just completely shedding, and I'm gonna be left with no hair, no time. I'm gonna grab the blush. As you can see, quite a bit of fallout, quite a bit of powder. Let's start applying it lightly, just dusting on the cheeks. I like to go up on the cheeks and in a C shape. It makes me look healthily flushed and also raises my face just a wee bit. The lower you place your blush, the lower, like, your face will not be lengthened. If you place it like this, the face will be widened. If you place it like this, it's gonna highlight your cheekbones and make your face look slimmer. If you place it like I did in this C shape, it's gonna make, and right on your cheekbone, it's gonna make your face look a bit slimmer, more, you know, snatched, without being very editorial, very avant-garde. As you can see, the blush applied nicely, just a sheer wash of color like I like it. It is pigmented, but I try not to pick up too much on the blush, and I like brushes such as these, quite rare domed shape. I find that flatter brushes just tend to add more pigment, and then I have to work more to blend it out. Well, with these types of brushes, it doesn't happen to me. Next, we are going to use the Nabla Denude highlighter in Wave. It comes in this nice sleeve, which I can't feel okay to part with yet. And then it opens like this. And as you can see, it's a pretty champagne neutral color. Let me show you a swatch. So this is the highlighter swatched. Very shiny. Let me swatch the blush for you actually while I'm at it. So there is the blush. Very luminous. Reminds me a bit of a Milani Luminoso. No, not Milani Luminoso, NARS Orgasm. Milani Luminoso is much more orange, and it's just, me and Milani Luminoso were not friends. Now I'm going to grab my highlighting brush, which is a brush that looks like this. So still dome shaped, but it tapers. See, it tapers. What I find is that this, instead of making me look like I have a stripe of highlighter on my face, it blends out my highlighter more and it looks like I'm naturally this glowy. Although I go to the point where it doesn't look like that anymore because I like to shine like a mirror. So I'm gonna grab some of the the highlighter. There is no fallout, no powderiness, and I'm gonna start to work it into the skin. With this highlighter, I find that the more you work it in, the more it achieves a glossy sort of effect. It doesn't emphasize texture, it doesn't emphasize my pores, it doesn't look gritty or glittery. The more you work it in, the more it gives you that glossy sort of look. I wouldn't say quite wet shine, but it's trying to get there. Then I just highlight a bit my nose with what's left over and my cupid's bow. Not a lot, because we worked hard to not be Rudolph, the shiny-nosed reindeer, and we're not gonna throw away all of that work for a bit of highlight, no matter how much I love it. I'm going in with lipstick. This is the Nabla Alter Ego lipstick, which is a very beautiful dark cherry sort of color. Let me swatch it. See, it's quite a strawberry red, I would call it. Now, I don't usually line my lips because I find that when the lipstick wears off, it wears off and then the liner stays for some reason. So I just look like I have like a very pronounced line. Whereas when I don't line my lips, it fades out more naturally. I don't know what's happening. It's an oddity of mine. If you want to line your lips, go ahead. I'm gonna apply lipstick and come back to you guys. This is the finished makeup look. Just a few thoughts on the lipstick since you didn't see me apply it. It's very pigmented, applies evenly with just one layer. So this is one layer of the lipstick on my face. I was about to say on my teeth because I'm a dummy. But it's very creamy despite being a matte formula, glides easily on the lips. I found that their lipsticks from the Denude collection particularly touch me, which I'm gonna up here, tug a bit more on the lips and they're more drying. This one is much more hydrating. What shocked me a bit at first was how tiny the tube is. However, the amount of product that you get is the same as, you know, for a regular lipstick. It's just that the tube is tiny and I quite enjoy that because it doesn't seem to take much space in my vanity. Okay, let's go back to regular shooting Mia. Come on. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed my full face of reviews and my mini eye look tutorial. Let me know if you'd like to see me do more of these kinds of videos. I personally don't believe in first impressions unless you are such a huge YouTuber and you get such a huge amount of PR that you will never be able to use everything you get for a set amount of time to try it out. You know, let me know how you liked this, what I could change, what I could improve. I'm always on the lookout to be better and do better for this channel. So yeah, have a great day guys. Bye bye.